Hello there, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, and of course that multicolour spectrum of genders in between. We are here with another cast for you folks. How you doing? Let's light this one up, get ourselves into the game, and see how this game is going to pan out. Let's just watch. Anyway, jump straight into it. We have got ourselves today a lovely little 5 versus 5 on a random map. We of course do like our random maps, they introduce a bit more skill with everything else. And let me just do my quick sorting up here. Get that out of the way, and very open maps now. We're not going to see any navy at all because, well, there's no water. We're going to see plenty of land action though, and having a look at the map itself as far as reclaim goes, there's a few spots. There's a little small clumps of rocks around the middle. You probably want to make sure of those, but nothing really excessive. No thousands of reclaims, so going to be a lot of movement and a lot of mix. Territory. A lot of territory is going to be important. But anyhow, let's have an introduction of the players. And first off, going to start up the top here with team number 1. First player for team number 1, always lonesome on the left hand side. It has exited. And let's see at what point of the game he may be exited from. Anyway, he's Seraphim in the lavender colour. His teammate off to the right a bit. It is Hannibal O. Hannibal O, I guess. He's yellow as UEF. We move further to the right again, and in the purple colour, walking back towards his hydro, it is Zugabi. He's UEF as well. He's got his first land factory down there. No adjacency, curiously, not beside any of the mixes. Fourth player for team number 1, we have another Seraphim player. It is Jagged Appliance, and he's in the lovely green colour there, just finishing up his hydro. And finally for team 2, in the rare air guard position, most likely in the blue, it is No Red for You, which is curious. He's not the red player. He let somebody else have that colour, so he has given red for somebody else. You are mockery of your name, good sir. Right, introduction of team number 2 then. First off, down here in the bottom right corner in the plain old white colour, it is Seal Force, and he's going UEF. He's sending his engines out and going to start building stuff. I'd imagine maybe move his commander somewhere, who knows. His teammate doesn't know either. His teammate over here, it is Beta, not the Alpha, he's the Beta, so he's not quite as good. Anyway, he is Aeon, he is red, actually. Betas are better than Alphas when you're talking about programming and game releases, but we'll ignore that. Right, his teammate, number 3 for team number 2, it's in the orange colour, it is Caillou. Why you'd name yourself after that little shit of a wanker in that show, sorry, it is a terrible... If you've always seen the show, you know Caillou is a little shit. So anyway, that's Caillou. He's here in orange. His teammate on the front here in the burgundy colour, it is Dude More Sams. He's walking his way forward with his commander UEF, and he's looking to just get a bit of reclaim now to stock up his energy reserves, which he probably needs some because he's building an air factory. And finally for team number 2, down in the bottom corner, it is Citrus 984. He's Aeon, and looks like he's getting some double adjacency from the Hydra and the mix right beside that factory. Already getting an upgrade on that mass extractor, on 2 of his mass extractors actually. Oh, that's interesting. He's got to be surviving off some... He's got a little bit in the bank, and he is surviving off some of the reclaim. Got his engineers out here grabbing the trees, getting some mass off those. But that's some very early upgrades on those mixes. Interesting. Interesting. Anyways. And it looks like we have our first scout out from him. We have some land scouts rocking out here, and of course they are the Selene combat scouts, so they have a bit of firepower to them as well as scouting. And they can maybe take on some engineers if they so desire. Pushing out on the left hand side, we have a mini raid coming here. We have a striker with a scout rushing on ahead. It's not usually the way you do it. Most people will have the scout assisting the tank, so they will actually be in the same place. But I figure the scout is probably just trying to hunt for objects whilst the tank comes in. And making a play to stop things on this particular area is, well, not a bad idea. If Build More Sams had, just call them Sams, if Sam had seen just an engineer up this way, it would have struggled with the striker, but he didn't. Well, he did see the engineer, it just happens to be the big stompy one with 12,000 health that would just dominate these guys. And that tank is out of there while doing virtually nothing to that commander. Got some air coming out as well, so doing there. I hear a bomber. Where is it? Oh, there it is. And there we have a Scorcher out there from Build More Sams, and it is going to hunt some engineers. It's got 2 kills already. Did it pick up 2 just then, or was it just me missing its first bomb? I didn't hear anything at all. There is an interceptor out now though from exited though, so maybe not going to have too much of a drama. Bomber comes down here, picks up another engineer, maybe a 4th. Yes indeedy. 4 engineers off that bomber. Makes it worth its mass. And also the time, of course, spent. Now he has to try and get some engineers back out, particularly to get to this mech. So, useful little raid there from that. Alright, scouts are in place, tanks are in place, but these units over here have decided just to bypass all this, and that's going to go straight up this way, one would imagine, and look for some engineers to kill. Let's see if they might get caught, perhaps. I think this guy's going to get caught, unless these guys will stumble over each other, but not going to get a lot done from these few units. Might pick up an engineer or two, but there are some intercepting tanks coming over that way, so I think they should be alright. Checking out the middle, and what do we have here? It is Caillou. He's walked himself into this big mass field in the center with his commander. His opposing player has got some engineers doing their thing, and they're in a just on some kind of reclaim order, but he's got units with him, so it should be alright. Okay, having a look down here, and there was an attempted run by, or should say a successful run by. But a single tank is wandering on through to the back lines, going to look at some stray engineers it can kill, and kill them it will. But now it can maybe stop and focus on a mass extractor. There's nothing to slow it down, except for a random stray piece of tree. From the left hand side, you can see, there we go, Sam's decided to drag that little raid back. It was never going to get anywhere, unfortunately, so he has decided, you know, walk back we go. And actually, he's got his commander way forwards. Looks like he's trying to be cheeky and grab this mass extractor here. Not going to happen, unfortunately, because he is going to be denied by the commander belonging to Exited. No units on either side in support, really. At least these 4 tanks are coming. I think Sam should be alright. He'll just keep walking backwards. Keep these units in here, they'll be fine. They'll run into his commander and he'll be okay. Absolutely nowhere near any kind of danger there. And out in this direction, and see cheeky mix build is also here. It is Jagged Lions, and he's actually, I wonder how long he's had that T1 mix, but it's been there for a while. So it's most likely paid for itself. Again, they only need about, I think it's 25-30 seconds to have been a profit for themselves, and that is obviously what's gone there. Big old unit spam plans. 8 factories are going to be slapped down here for Mr. Buildmore Sam's, and that's going to be a lot of units going to come out of those, and they're going to be able to do some good spam with the eco if he's got it. Could be that to his opponent. He's got a couple of factories back here, a few more dotted around, but that's a lot of unit spam plans coming out of those. Alright, checking over the right hand side, and way up forward, it is no red for you with his commander all by his lonesome. He does not want to be there right now. There is a dangerous amount of units, especially with a commander coming in support, and he's got nothing around him. He's also got problems over here. We see Beta is putting up a bunch of factory spam, and here on tier 1 spam with this ranged attacks can be very nasty indeed if they're fighted and kept mobile. If they sit still, they die. They are the weakest of the tanks at point blank range. They have the least amount of health, but if you can kite them and keep them out of range, they do a very, very good job. But plenty of support there for Beta, plenty of factories, and you could even get a gun upgrade on his com. Right, checking over left hand, oh, in the middle actually, got a small push through the mid here from Caillou, just takes out a factory and a mass extractor belonging to Hannibal, and probably falls back in the base of the larger armies converging on that smaller force. Wise to keep those guys alive. Commander standing around getting an upgrade, Caillou's com, not even getting assistance, just sitting there doing nothing. And maybe he's got enough to pressure him off that upgrade, probably a little bit too late. Nah, that's going to complete pretty shortly. So he will be fine. Up on the left hand side, Sam's is doing a wee bit of a push of his own, got his commander not upgraded, and a few units around, not a lot. And similar back here, we see Exited without an upgraded com and a few units. Or speaking of upgrades, he's just started one. Gun upgrade is on the way, which is something that could be a detriment to Sam's if he's not careful and is not aware of that upgrade coming. Right, checking back over the right hand side, and yeah, no red for you, still doing the whole falling in a backwards sort of direction with his commander, as he should with 0 support. Over here it is Zugabi, no upgrade on his commander, but he's got a few units, not very many. But a few factories back here to pop out some spammy type things. Just a small army. Tech 2 is on the field here for Hannibal. That is a shield, mobile shield coming out. I imagine it may come straight for his commander. Give him some shield coverage just while he's getting that upgrade. Looks like the right arm, so I think that's actually engineering, not gun. Cannot recall. But anyhow, here's what it is. Upgrade is getting assisted now for Exited. He's looking for that. Is there an upgrade for Sam's? No, there isn't. Still just sticking with the units. Checking over on the right hand side, we have a couple of armies having to go at each other. It is really just a Small probing move from Jagged, who decides, yeah, nah, maybe I don't want to take that on. Maybe that's a silly idea. No, Red P looks to use his commander to help on out because Jagged has got T2 in his combo. He can actually start a bit of a T2 PD crew. That's going to be problematic for Team 2 to crack. Get that plus a couple of commanders, and is there any commander support down here? Oh, Beta's not an upgrade. He's got one gun upgrade. He's getting the second one right now. We have Seal Force to get an upgrade. I think I saw a T2 from him earlier. We'll have to check on that a little bit later on. Still a bunch of units just moseying around here for Sam, so just keeping an eye on things. T1 bomber comes over, gets absolutely obliterated for getting a single bomb off. There's so much anti-air. Inties just happen to turn up at the right time, and they are quite happily moving a boot. Second upgrade going down there for Exit actually, so he may be getting the nano upgrade to get some more health and some more hit point regen. That will be very handy for him indeed. Down here, no, Kyle got a drone upgrade. So he got a drone upgrade on his command. It's not a T2 upgrade, he's using T2 from a Sparky engineer. That's probably why Sparky's fun little things. They've got a bit of riot gun on them so they can shoot and defend themselves from a few T1 units there. They're quite handy to have down there with T2 PD, so all well and good for there. In fact, we hear Sparky doing Sparky things just like that. And you can see it's actually not the weakest. 1,000 hit points, can take on a few tanks and a couple of tanks and can probably survive. But anyway, back over this side we have a look, and a little wee bit of movements now from Mr. Seal Force. Putting a few units up this way, decides, no, I don't like your walls, you can stop building those, thank you. But we had a big army movement here from Kaya, but he's having to fall back, being pressured by some T2 over there. Not really going to get through on that front. Over on the left hand side we can see the upgrade is just about done for Exit, and is it going to be a... It must be. It could be T2 actually. Yeah. As I say that, it is. It's a T2 upgrade. So Gun and T2 are on the com for Exited. He's going to some extra health, and he's going to be able to slap down T2 PD and T1 PD really, really quickly. We have Gun and Nano on Sam's though, so full on combat commander there. Could be a problem if he decides to try and run into T2 Banker T2 PD. Just have to keep an eye on that little battle. If he gets forward, it's going to be problematic. Over here, Beta is sitting under a couple of shields with his commander, and he does have the double gun upgrades, and there's some pillars in the mix there. If he overcharges those, will be a great old target. In fact, don't see some overcharge coming out. He must have. He does not have energy storage. My dear man, if you're going to go Guncom, you get energy storage. You want that overcharge, especially in the T2 phase, because you can overcharge those T2 units nice and easy. And our Hobart Earth T2 engineer Sparky running away, surviving from Exited, so he's actually going to be able to come back and maybe look at building some T2 PD. He's going to need it, because that is a T2 Guncom. Some Team D stepped up just in case. Back in the middle, big old fight going on over here. There's Caillou with just his drone up against Hannibal with his gun and T2 swarm, so Caillou really needs to think about falling back here. And he's got some T2 on the ground as well. He's got some T2 PD in the area as well, but there are some shields going to soak up a whole lot of that. Kill off the shield units, there we go. They'll stop protecting others. That's all good. But now trying to build up some more T2 PD. There's 3 back here, of course, running out of units. Kaya needs to be a little bit careful with a lot of units in his face. And while he does have Sparkies, and while there is some T2 PD, there's actually a lot of units in front of him, and he may not want to be here when things happen. He keeps on building that drone and is commanded by auto, and what happens after that is it gets shot down by the anti-air, so it's actually just wasting resources right now. That drone overcharged there, kills off a T2 unit very well and good, but now he's looking very surrounded by units right this instant. Is that the pool attack? Maybe, maybe not. There's still the T2 PD around that needs to start thinning out these units. Caillou, I think that might have been a missed attempt there. Could have maybe surrounded them with all those units, and here they go again. The T2 PD still ripping away. Caillou looking reasonably healthy, good rank of veterancy, but no gun upgrade. It's going to take him a while to chew through those units without it. On the left hand side, have a quick look. We've got a big battle room on here as well. It is Sam's under a shield, falling back from the nasty Exeter Guncom. Of course, he is Gun and Nono himself. They're actually, but he's running out of units. Is old Exited. He's having to fall back a wee bit. Plenty more on the ground for there, but T2 PD in behind. Have a quick check back in the middle here. How's Caillou looking? Well, he's looking okay. Not sure why he stopped to build that factory. Maybe to just slow those units down. Down is the other, but definitely have run out of attacking units. But it's left a nice, big, giant mass field for Hannibal to have a go at. 4,000 mass there from all the dead corpses, and of course the rocks which had not yet been scooped on up. Over here it is Build More Sams, and he is trying to push. Wants to knock out that T2PD, because if he can, it will be a good scalp. There we go, and that's a deny of the area denial, question mark? That's the way to word it. Another T2PD been stepped up here by Exted though. His commander is looking pretty healthy, and so is Sam's. That region's got him way back up into the green nice and quickly. Back in the middle, what are we looking at? We are seeing a bit of a push coming over from the side. It is Beta deciding to join in the scrap. Over on the far right hand side, here we go, this is Seal Force, also with a Nano Guncom, and he is pushing with a massive army in front of him. Looks like it's all T1 though. There was a shield, a mobile shield generator, but it has died horribly, and now it is up to Seal Force to do his thing. Some couple of T2 units now I'm seeing, and T3. That is a sniper bot. So Jagged Appliance has actually rushed the T3 stage, and a sniper bot now can start pick off units and do some decent damage to anything. And Seal Force needs to be careful. Try and have a quick check on that in a little bit. Over on the left hand side we can see Build More Sam's doing what he is doing, which is winning away with his Nano Guncom. And X is still trying to keep on up back in the middle. It is definitely a push coming up. Lots of T2 now on the field from Beta helping out. Some units also pushing up from Caillou. Caillou, who's falling back here, still very unhealthy. Only about half health at the moment, 7,000 HP. Beta looking good on 12,000. Going to kill some more units, get some ranks of veterancy. We see Hannibal is in retreat. He's got just a Guncom. Doesn't really want to tangle with that too much. He'll be outranged. Over up the top here we can see that, wow, Seal Force has opted to run the FOA with his commander, as he really kind of needs to do, because sniper bots and T3 on the field, the Otham in particular, if he gets close to his commander will cause some issues. I think he should have overcharged by now. Yes, he does. No energy though, definitely running out of that, and he is almost going to get cut off by Jagged Appliance, whose commander has done a bit of a PD creep over this way. And Seal Force is definitely in the direct retreat action. Needs something to take care of those sniper bots, and while rushing with these units might do it, Jagged Appliance is running after with his comm. I don't think he's going to catch up to him, but the sniper bots will slowly be tickling Seal Force down. Units are going to chase though. Here they come. They're looking to try and pick off those sniper bots out. Weak sniper bots, not much they can do. Loss of shield. Mobile shields come out towards the commander, and I think they're going to be necessary. Jagged Appliance wants to be cautious as well. Doesn't want to push too far considering there's another army coming up here. But down into the red is Seal Force. Is he going to manage to get under these shields in time? 3,600. I think he will. The shields, yeah, the shields are arriving, and they're going to start protecting from that. Now he's just going to try and run from the commander. Jagged does have a Guncom, and whether he wants to keep pushing that is a question only he can answer, and I'm thinking that answer is probably going to be maybe not. Lots of shields around Seal Force. He does have T3 coming in to help him out. Maybe he will continue to push out, and the sniper bots of course doing their distance thing and picking things off. But there we go, this is now Jagged Appliance. He's getting pushed by all this, and comes Otham. The Otham's going to be a massive help. A big old overcharge and knocks out 4 units at once. Still looking pretty healthy, Jagged, over 10k HP. Now under the shield, and of course with the Othams, that is going to be a good old hold and deny. We have a spearhead out though that's going to start doing some problems if he decides to stand still, which he probably should not, and Seal Force well into the retreat. I predict we may see these guys back off, back over the left hand side, and we have still going at it Sam's and Exited. Really want to have a good old go at each other. Bit of common action. We have T2 on the ground there from Exited. His army's over here, whereas over here is Sam's army, and he could start causing issues for Exited, especially if he stands still. Bombs going after intel, get rid of the radars, and you can no longer see at a distance. But this army pushing down here is a bit of a problem, because there's not a lot on the ground. They do have T3 there. That's Percival coming off the line for Sam's. His commander is elected to drop back, and he's just sending some units up this way. They're going to get ahead of the commander and kill off a bunch of eco. But this is a bigger problem, just this army forcing on down here. There's a Titan down here under a shield. There's a bunch of T2 in the ranks here, so should be able to hold that off, especially as the commander comes back as well. Back in the middle, it is still a hold for Hannibal. Looks like there's a big old group of wreckages there to be picked up. But he is getting pushed over this side, and maybe these guys want to think about killing the PD rather than the mass extractor, because, you know, he will kill the units. Never mind. Obviously done that task, and now they can finish off all that eco and build out. Over on the right hand side, let's see if the predictions have come true. They have indeed. Jagged Device has fallen back with his commander, and the spearheads are now doing their thing. Where is... there he is. Seal Forces dropped right on back, but the Nano has gotten back up to over 10,000 health, so looking pretty healthy. Switching back up here, we see that run by from Sam's is looking pretty effective, and these guys are going to start bombarding here. It's going to be a real annoyance. That is a T2 mix, and all the surrounding mass storage, as well as the engineers, they're going to take a bit of battering. There goes that down. Tier 1 bomber overhead, and a few units will clean them up in the end though. And attack repelled over here as expected. Right, I'm hearing Titans. Where am I hearing Titans? Everywhere. Right in the midway, a whole swarm of Titans here from Hannibal has built up a large amount of T3 units. More Titans over here, and what is there on the ground to stop them? Well, I have to say, not a lot. If they were to push right down this middle, they could even maybe pick up Caillou. He's got gun now. He's got a drone and gun, but these Titans are going to be a problem if they cannot be slowed down. Goodmore Sams is still working around with his commander, looking reasonably healthy. He's got gun and nano, 16k HP, and he's got some T3 of his own, including the Crucible sitting in there with a couple of Titans, some shields. He should be alright, but he's getting pushed from two fronts right now. He's got Exited doing his thing with a T2 gun com. He's got the Exited army, and he's got this army here coming in his direction, and his wall sections have just been destroyed. So I don't know if that was a T1 bomber or what, but that is going to be an issue because now they can just sweep straight through this gap. And Titans are fast, and they need to be slowed down. This Titan army kind of problematic, says Sams. Well, Sams, you would be quite correct. This Titan army is kind of problematic. And he's got his... he does have a few Perseus of his own. They can start taking things out, but the Titans are just so much faster. They can romp straight on through without being intercepted, and he still has to be worried about this army here. As T2 at the moment from Exited, so not a bigger threat as it could have been, but he still has the command in residence as well. And here we go, these Titans are doing as they do, trying to flank or pass, destroy as much as possible before they die, focusing down the eco. The last thing Sams needs to happen is to be losing all that. And in a counter, what's going on? Well, nothing. Big wide open gap here, and there's nothing on the ground that Caillou can use to move into there and try and take advantage of this gap. Do they know there's a gap there? Do they know there's no units? No, they don't, because they've got no radar. No, they do not. But down here though, the Titans are still roaming through. Need some extra damage to come down on those. Got some air now doing the work because they can't be caught up. They have destroyed a few mixes. This one survives. They have tried to keep on moving. Maybe it's time to stop and focus one down at this stage though, because they can't outrun the air. There we go. So Titans have taken out two mixes. Could have been worse. Could have been worse. Could have been a lot worse. Some Sams back here taking care of the air. It is, there we go, Exeter pushing up this command, picking off units at range. Now Sams is quite happily tanking the T1 bombers on this command. Going to need a lot more to do anything there. I spied mine that lies something beginning with T. And that would be a tactical missile. And it is doing what tactical missiles do if you don't have TMD. Notice that is popping out of here. So attack missile launcher from No Red for you, and it's got itself 6 kills already. It has been picking off the eco. Can we see where? Oh, there's one there. There's one there. So that's 2 missiles. Can be another one heading down this way, or maybe to that one. So definitely want to get some T2 engines out. There we go. 3 T2 mixes going out of that. Not good for your health. Was a weird bit of push up here from Caillou, trying to get something done in the middle, but ran into some T3 units and decided the better of it. Counter Titans from Sams. He thought, I'll try and take advantage of this gap, but he is going to get squished by these guys. Decides to fall back and to have them rejoin his main force because, hey, that's a better idea. Quick check over on the right hand side, and it's been a little bit stagnant. Both sides have T3 now. We have some Perseus holding a line over here. Maybe they shouldn't be standing still in the event of that T2 artillery back here, knocking them off. Down here we have some sniper bots versus sniper bots. Shield of sniper bots here, shield of sniper bots there, having to go at each other, as they do. Back in the middle, clear gap on the sides here. Right now the action is over on the left. We have a lot of gunships coming out. Well, if you got them, you might as well use them. Right now Exeter doesn't have any shielding or flak with him, but he does have a large number of interceptors, so his gunships won't be too much use, even if they were to be put to attack right now on Exited. need to try and find a solution for those NTs before they can be used. And even then, there are some ASFs over here from no red for you, so he's well into the T3 air game. They look pretty even comps at the moment. Let's have a quick check on those numbers. We have 40 but no red, and we have, well, let me double click on that, 35, so slight advantage for Team 1 in the air. And here we go, the air has turned up, it's being used, the ASFs are overhead. In come the interceptors. Are the ASFs going to stay in, or are they going to bug out? They should stay in and clean up. They're going to mop up, and that's going to be a problem for Exeted unless the air comes over from no red, and no red might be sleeping a little bit. He's not picking this up, and Exeted now looking very peaky indeed, getting absolutely hammered by the Spectres, and the Spectres, they run away. I think they could have finished the job. There's no flak in this mix. There's some tier 1 anti-air, but there's no flak. The Spectres come back maybe a little bit too late. But nope, they pause. It is being Sam's now pushing up this command, just trying to find that guy to kill. He's down to 7,500. But Sam's, of course, has to be concerned about this army gathering on his right flank. Lots of T3 and shields in the mix. Still rocking with a T2 down here. Not going to be too good, Kaio. You need to get yourself to T3, my friend. And I say need. Everybody else in the T3 stage, you got to get up there and catch up. Your unit's going to be struggling against this lot. Very much so. Alright. Back up this direction. It is building more Sam's. He thought, I'll have a go at this, and then changed his mind. Those Spectres, I think they could have got a kill right there. If they could have stayed, there was no anti-air, like the Indies were dead, there was no flak on the ground. I think they could have actually killed Exeter just then. I think that could have been the right call. But here we have another problem. It is the T3's Titan army swarm. Some pistols thrown him, shields overhead, got some anti-air, some flak in that as well. Going to just simply waltz through this big old gap here. And there's T2 trying to come over and defend it, but it's T2, and that's a lot of T3 to try and take out, plus the shielding, plus everything else, and waltzing in range of that is not good for your health if you're T2. Really wants to try and keep out of distance. We have Kaio's com here trying to get some work done. Really wants to be overcharging. Please tell me he's got overcharge. He's got overcharge. So he can do that. Is it cool? T3 anti-air, that's going to be nasty. Well, it's going to die off really quickly. That is a difficult force to stop though, and it is just going to carry on. Some ASFs on the ground here. They don't want to be on the ground when this lot turn up. They want to get off the ground, because dying to Titans is embarrassing for an ASF. And here it happens. Ooh, nope, off the ground, just a time. Can't really see any of the Spectres just yet though, because there is some flak in there, and that flak will chew them up horribly. But really, what can they do from that? It looks like the repairs are underway from the attack launcher, which has been recycled. I think it was over here somewhere. I think maybe so. It's been recycled and put back into mass. Now there's TMD up all over the place. Quick look on the right hand side, and you can see some T3 mobile RT having to go at this band of units over here, trying to knock down the shields. Tough to get through. Some static T2 behind, so Jagged doing area denial with some long range tactics. Over on the left, a few Titans trying to run through again, but Buildmore Sams is paying attention to the unit movement and pulls them back. T3 on the ground now for Exit as well. That is a siege tank. But even as those Titans pull the army that way, there's another one sitting over here, a band of Percivals along with some Flapjacks. And a single shield really just cover those up whilst they do their thing. And they're having to go at anything they can really. Although now they decide to fall back. So armies all over the place for that. How did that Titan, that Titan roam is still going. That's how it's going. It has waltzed its way down here and knocked off. Could have kept on going actually. Could have destroyed the HQ there. And now there we go, the flak is down now, so the gunships will have free reign to kill off these units. They're going to march on forward. They should just carry on forward, kill off this. That would be a really good pick. Look at the amount of wasted resources. If they kill that at the T2 stage before it goes to T3, all of that will have been wasted mass put into it. But they don't get too much further. The Spectres finally do the job, and the little band is down. I say little, it's quite a significant army. Right, but over here, Sam's has spotted the gap left by that army. It has gone, made its raid, and now this army is moving back on through. I'm hearing Titans somewhere else. Where am I hearing Titans? Oh no. I'm not hearing Titans anymore. They probably died. Alright, we've got Percivals down here though, and they are going to do... Oh, there's the Titans. Well, there were the Titans. No more Titans for you. Spearhead stuck out the front. Not where you want your Spearhead to be. It dies a horrible death. These Titans are going to die a horrible death trying to raid these Percivals though. They are just comparatively incredibly tanky and big old damage to T3 units. Percival's very good at doing that kind of thing. Percival here is trying to get work done against a bunch of T1 units, and that is not going to be helpful. Beta finishes off an experimental. What have you got? Is it a GC? It is a GC. It is making a stompy way forwards and is looking for its new targets. Right. What have they got as a counter? Well, they got a whole ton of sniper bots over here. They got T2 artillery. They got a Yathoto coming up, which is mostly done. No red for you finishes off a megalith. So he hasn't been idle in his base at all. He's got lots of ASFs, and he's got a megalith, so a crab now wandering the market. Wandering the battlefield. That's going to be able to do some extra damage. That's going to be an issue. Hannibal finishes an experimental, and he's got a fat boy up, and that is ready to go. Sam's has an experimental now. What did he build? He's built himself a GC. Maybe that was handed over because he sure as heck isn't Aeon himself, so that will have been handed over maybe from Citrus. Yes, it was. Just saw the notification there. Citrus built it and handed it over, so it's going to be incredibly handy for Sam's, and we now have Ravagers on the field. And you can keep your Ravagers up and keep them protected. They can do some excellent long range damage as long as they don't get picked off by sniper bots or T3RD. But there we go, the shots ranging on out. That's one sniper bot. Is it going to get caught? No, not quite, since we've just had a range of that Ravager. But yes, still a Spearhead doing their thing and encouraging these guys to stay at distance. Where is Sam's with his commanders over here with shield? Just the personal shield, not the bubble shield, but it's going to make him nice and tanky. 19,000 on the shield, 19,000 in health. He is good. In the middle, what do we got? Spearhead just being problematic, just lobbing missiles everywhere. If you're going to sit still, you're going to get smacked. Down here, still a roving band of T1 mobile. Well, mobile archery isn't terrible. It's not bad against in clubs against T3 units, slow moving ones anyway. We'll see how that pans out. They're terrible against a fat boy though. It will absolutely shred them. Alright, GC is pushing up on the left. We had GC moving to the right. There it is. That's really made them just being held defensively because there is a completed Yathoto somewhere. It's a lot of ASFs to kill one. Like a scout, maybe? A single scout? Oh, there's the Yathoto. Backed up by a horde of Othans, some T3 shields, some T3 anti-air, and sniper bots. This is not a force to be messed with, but the same can be said over here. We have a whole bunch of sniper bots and GC. Very even, massive Harbies over here. So that could be an even battle between those two. On the left hand side we can see, there we go, the GC has made its way to the front. It's got Percivals in backup, it's got shields, it's got a whole lot of units in backup, and this could be a danger for Exited if he's not. He's got to be aware the GC's there. He's got to be. In the meantime, what's he building back in this direction? Oh, nothing. I don't see any experimentals on the left hand side. I see a bunch of sniper bots, of course, which can do damage, but that GC is going to start hoovering and be a big scare. Then come the units, but here's support of a Percival's course. Percival's going to wreck these Ulshivas. They're just going to get demolished by those. T3 versus T2, of course, and over on the left hand side there's some more coming on, and even if the GC does nothing but devastate this army, it would have been well used because all these units coming through from Sam's, they're going to do extra damage on that front. Exited very much on the run, and yeah, the GC is just going to turn around, focus down the T3 units, a good call, get those out of the battle, and that will leave all these units ready to sweep through what is left of Exited's little wee base here. Spectres getting used again. They're going to take out this little position. Not a bad idea. There's 3 massive structures, all T2 ringed over there. Get rid of those, and it's a good chunk of eco miss. The GC is alive, the Percivals are alive, and maybe soon, potentially not alive. Oh, he's got a lot of health, and he's got a lot of units to support. Those Percivals actually turn around and drop back. I think maybe they could have caught him, but instead they're moving back to support the GC. Over on the right hand side, and we can see the crab turned up, the GC moved forward, the Thota moved forward as well, and they basically took each other out. So even while that battle's been going on the left, on the right hand side, same thing going on there. The crab is having a field day. Whereas the fat boy down here, it doesn't really want to keep walking forwards though. Wants to kill things off at range, especially because there's a crab and a second chicken moving down here from Jagged Appliance. So again, these guys have to fall back. Looks like they've lost all the sniper bots. They have no ranged options left to try and take these out, aside from the fat boy, and the fat boy needs to really walk backwards. In the middle we have another push coming in here. This time it's from Zugabi. Zugabi is putting pressure onto Caillou, who's being forced to rock back with those, and these units have maybe come straight down the middle and going to have problems. Raider says, how you can push by T2 spam? It's like, well, he's only got T2 and T1. That's how he's getting pushed by it. Over here the problems begin. The chicken is doing twisting, dodging and diving, trying to avoid the fat boy fire. The crab is just like, I'm going to bowl straight on him, mate, thank you very much. And the fat boy trying to do his thing. He has got some Percival projection out the front of it. They could turn around and take that out. Some T3 mobile arty sitting still. Going to get absolutely smashed by that. Squealer, renamed to Squealer. Big push coming down this side. T1 bomber spam coming for the crab. Quick check up the top left. How's things going here? Well, about as expected. Exodus has run out of resources, and rather than go for the comm, Sam's has decided to destroy the eco. If it's full share, this is a good move. Very good move, because then you can kill off all the eco, get rid of the production, make it so even if the commander dies, all the stuff won't be handed over to somebody else. But he really wants to finish off the base. Never mind the units, kill the HQ. Get rid of that production, get rid of the T3 mixers. There we go, Percival's doing Percival things, doing what they want. Overkilling on the engineers though. Definitely don't want to do that. Fat boy is laying waste down, but there is so much wreckage. Look at all this. GC taking shots to the face. This was coming. That's going to be the end of the GC. Fat boy and Percival's not good for himself, and he has killed the eco, left the HQ alone. Maybe it could have been a bad idea, but we shall see. It is Fat boy to the rescue, unless the GC gets in range, but maybe it will. Although I don't think Fat boy's going to last too much longer. Yeah, that's done for. Over on the right hand side, a similar situation developing, though maybe a bit slower. Double Fat boys now down here for a Seal Force. That's going to be quite handy to try and nullify this, which he needs to. He's taken out the Thota, so the chicken is no longer part of the equation. He needs to steer clear of that while he tries to bombard all the sniper bots. Have a look at those. Jagged rushing forward with 30 sniper bots. That's enough to destabilize anything. And the megalith is still very much alive and picking off what it does. Look at that. Plenty of health in that. Need to get these fat boys back over this way and lobbing their shells in this direction. In the middle, there we go. Caillou has victorious over Zugabi, so some T3 units came out, got a few Titans on there doing their thing, and now it is, well, there comes the GC to save the day. It's going to take a lot of damage to those sniper bots, plus the crab walking backwards. Look at that, it's going to be a very close thing. If those sniper bots focus the GC down, then I think, ooh, it's close. Well, sniper bots are making it, the sniper bots are making it, but in come the fat boys, and the fat boys are going to lob their shells down on the crab. That is going to make life very difficult, and the GC is going to die a horrible death. There we go. Thanks to all of those sniper bots which are now getting pushed by this T2 swarm from Caillou. If they could just knock down the shields, we're going to make the sniper bots very easy to kill. Crab's getting targeted by the fat boys. There's another chicken walking down this direction, plenty of purses in front of it. Hopefully they can hold it off long enough. Crab taking good amounts of damage. The sniper bots now taking some fat boy fire. It's going to be bad for their health. And they are in retreat mode. So too should the crab be. 23,000 health if they can maybe move out and do some things. But story of the day, or at the moment I say, the day's been experimentals all over the place, is this guy. He's got almost got an open path one, and then there are 3 fat boys now. So 3 fat boys out from Seal Force. That's going to be a problem. And hello Donut. How did I miss that notification? Donut coming out there from Citrus. How long will it last is a question. He's got near force, but so does No Red, who's got more. No Red sitting on 75 ASFs, whilst down here we see 98 for Citrus. So Citrus very much ahead in the air game, probably because No Red was building crabs, although Citrus did make a donut. And that donut is now going to start hoovering all of this. And why not? Those things are really annoying, so kill them off. Get rid of them. Fat Boy's doing Fat Boy things. What happened to the chicken? There it goes in the retreat mode. It doesn't want to try and tangle the 3 Fat Boys. That is difficult to take care of. Very difficult indeed. The air tangles a wee bit. A side pass from a good pass from No Red. He actually takes out a good chunk of Citrus's air, and rather than fight the donut, he's decided to do the air engage, which is a wise move. Get rid of the ASFs first, and perhaps he can win that. There we go, big swaths coming out, and I think the Dark Boy at the moment might be, well, good work from No Red. He's evened off the air game and hasn't lost all of his air, so that donut could maybe still be taken out. Alright, we have Fat Boy down here from Sam's. We have Fat Boy up there from Hannibal. We have Eunice been rebuilt and reclaiming his base. Didn't quite lose the T3HQ, which is very important for Exited. And he can keep building units like snipers and the like. Right, Sam's is building more Fat Boys. Why not? Fat Boy here, Fat Boy there. Worth your while. Fat Boy up there. On this side it is double Fat Boys, but also facing off against double chickens. I say double, I say triple. 3 Fat Boys, and these guys are going to want to think about running in a reverse direction, like just getting the hell out of there and lobbing shells at the slot at the distance of those chickens getting range. They are some dead Fat Boys. Did I see names? Peter PJ and Panda Cuddles. How lovely. And the GC in support as well, so even if those chickens get close, this GC might be, nope, turns around. Look, that's going to guard that wreck from anything else. Big old T3 army in the middle here from Zugabi. Lots of T3 units, but still loitering as a deterrent is the Tsar. Donut is as Donut does, and it can start taking out things if they get a little bit too close. Left alone, and this looks like No Red. Is he diving on the Donut? He is. The Donut sees it, moves away. In come the defending ASF from Citrus, and No Red decides, yeah, no, I won't do that. And that's the right move, because he could have maybe taken the Donut out with all this ASFs, but in the process they would have been killed by all the Citrus ASFs. We've just been handing the air over, and that's a bad idea. Don't go flying over the T3AA. Do not do that. That's a terrible idea. Over here, Fat Boy down for Hannibal, because this one got the jump on it and did some extra damage with the first rounds. Often how it goes with the Fat Boys, the first few shots are critical in a Fat Boy versus Fat Boy fight. And speaking of Fat Boys, down the right hand side, a 4th one has been churned out by Seal Force, and he has just got Fat Boys for days. Look at that, Fat Boy, Fat Boy, Fat Boy. Nothing but fatties, and they are just dominating the area around them, pushing everything back that belongs to Jagged. What has Jagged got to do anything with? Well, he's got some chickens. The problem with chickens is when they die, they start doing a lot of damage to everything around them, and you don't want to do that. Left hand side we see Fat Boys chunking up there for Sam's, and they are doing their damage at range too. Walking forward says Hannibal. Don't know if that's a great idea. This commander could be exposed to Fat Boy fire if they so desire. This army up here won't do too well against this Fat Boy. That's going to be able to just shred the shields as it does, and then shred the units. Why not? Get rid of both at the same time. In the middle though, this is where things are really interesting for team number 1. Big old army here from Zagabi is pushing up, running into, a GC over here, plus T3 units, some T2PD. Don't think it's going to get too much further. The GC in particular is going to be a massive asset to that side of thing. You see the units are moving back from Caillou. Maybe let's think about moving forward as being a support. But speaking of support, Fat Boy Fire. Now it's going to swing on over and do some damage. But have a look at this. 4 Fat Boys, lots of shields. Percival's in support. That is not great. But we have on the counter 1, 2, 3, and a 4th chicken. If they can spread out enough, and if they can start dodging well enough, they could close with the Fat Boys just down. This one here could actually maybe walk straight on down. 5th Fat Boy coming up there for Seal Force. He is churning those out like nobody's business. And the flanks are looking strong for team number 2. The middle is looking strong for team number 1. Especially this battle right here. We have the GC doing us all, but the Titans are in support from Caillou. That should help keep things even. and focus down the Percival's first from the GC. Best idea, get rid of them, and then he can hoover up the Titans with ease. DKHP back over this direction. Have the Fat Boys been caught? Well, at least one's been caught. This chicken is not looking particularly healthy, but is getting into range and it is trying to kill what it can. Shields going down there and there. This chicken's been playing dodgems, trying to get around things, trying to get close. This chicken's coming inside. Of course, this fourth chicken down here is running straight towards this Fat Boy, and that's actually Seal Force's comm. What's he doing there? What is he doing there with his commander? That's a silly place to be when you notice. Oh my word. Seal Force, what were you doing? What were you doing with your commander that far forwards? Experimenters everywhere, sniper boss everywhere. Your commander should have been all the freaking way back here. Nice and safe. I don't think he meant to have his commander. There's no way. No way should he have been there. Things get handed over to Sam's, and he's going to now have lots of Fat Boys at his disposal. We have a bunch of dead guns. We have a Galactic Colossus to support there. We have another one over here, plus the Donut, so still looking good terms, even though lost Seal Force. Good old full share has made life a bit simpler. Over on the left hand side, still looking pretty good. Still got a Fat Boy up here, and I'm hearing, here we go, a raiding Titan, which is preventing this mass extractor from being built. It is slowly but surely killing the extractor while there's all this mass being poured into it from these NGs, making it a waste of mass. Just a constant waste of mass there because it is not built, it's not being repaired, and it is slowly but surely dying. Good old Titan. This direction, we have a Fat Boy that's been caught out by some Othams. They have rushed it and started doing some extra damage. The shields are down, plus some T2 ID flight coming over here. Yes, indeed, that is not good for the Fat Boy's health. Trying to run away. And down to the other half dead. I think it's gonna, it needs to keep moving. Still within range of that T2 artillery. Got a Fat Boy up here. Ooh, that was a very damaged Fat Boy as well. We have extra T2 ID having to go with that, I think. Yes, 1, 2, 3 of those. Looking on out, this Fat Boy is still trying to get away, getting pushed by some T3 unit snipers. T2 ID, boom's 800 health, and a snipe 300 health. If another T2 ID round comes in, it's going to be the end of that guy, but it's not. It has managed to survive, and it's going to start pulling that Yatho from distance. Oh, there's some more T2 artillery though. Actually, it might be dead now. Thought maybe it moved out of range, but no. Spec dab right on the top, and we have a dead fatty. Not great for your health. Okay, still got that Zarflint run. It's got a few kills, and the middle push has now turned as well. This is coming up from Kaido, so he's built himself up with T3 army, got some Titans and some mobile arty in the mix. Just going to try and see what kind of damage you can do with those as he pushes up, and basically going to lose them. Got a Fat Boy back here raining destruction down upon them. A whole bunch of Corsairs with some spread attacks, killing a bunch of units at once. Got to be careful here. Don't both sides looking to engage, also not engage air, being very cagey. We haven't had a proper air fight yet, I don't believe. It's been very, aside from the one where No Red took out a good chunk of Citrus's air. But anyway, not to be had. What is Citrus doing back here? Look at the size of that air grid. It is absolutely massive. There is so many air factories just pumping out ASFs constantly. He's got another donut planned at some point. I don't know what's waiting on. Just putting up with more of an air grid there, and they're going to go do it. Okay. The air grid compared here, I think, is probably a bit smaller. Probably a little bit smaller. Big old upgrade. Oh, hello. We have laser. P3. I think somebody's going for a telemaze. They're going to have to try and keep a watch on that. It's going to compare air till I saw that commander standing in the middle of nowhere. Okay, still a bunch of T2 Corsairs can do their thing. They can actually swing on through. And look at this line here. 5 Fat Boys up and running, a GC in the mix, and just plenty of firepower coming. Can be very difficult to crack. There's of course a handful of T2ID here. T2ID is a bane of Fat Boys, but maybe not enough. But hello, chicken. Chicken coming down, and nothing much to stop it. All the experimenters are over here, and the T2 wave of Corsairs goes on in. They're not going to kill a single Fat Boy. Get some shields down, do some good damage. No actual kills out of that lot, and the air protecting over top. There we go, No Red decides to fall back and not have any fun there, but moving on down this way. There was a Thota. They must know it's there. It's making noise. It's shooting. They must know us there. They must know us there, surely. There's been no real reaction. Honestly, should send the donuts over. That'd be the quickest thing to go take care of it. But we'll try and keep an eye on that a little bit. Left hand side, we have a couple of fatties here for Sams. They are having a good old go keeping these forces at bay, which they're very good at doing. Just a big area to denial. Sam with this fat boy is just sitting there picking off anything. It's all T1 at the moment. Not too much closer. Push coming up this here from Caillou. Got some units up running T3 versus T3 with some extra units on there. The donuts are on the way. They have decided on a target, and who knows what that target is. In comes the air, and here comes a big, massive air fight going. All these ASFs, we're going to see the donuts, they're going to get insta-caps is the thing. One goes down right away. Are they going for somebody, or are they just moving on up? Well, there we go. That's what happens when the air decides to go for the donuts first. The donuts die, they've donated a whole bunch of mass, but now the air game is very much in the hands of Citrus. He has one air. The donuts forced the air issue, and No Red had to go in for that to take those out, because otherwise the donuts could have just whomped through Zugabi's base. His commander's fine. They killed off the ego, couldn't be bad, and that's not where you want to land your air. In fact, you want to retreat your ASF so they're not doing that again. Over here though, the chicken is now walking through the base. The donuts are dead, so they don't have a response for that. And that is going to be an issue. There's nothing on the ground to stop those chickens. Oh, sorry, stop that chicken. That one solitary chicken is going to do huge amounts of damage. What happened back here? I was going to say T1 bomber spam time, but there's no factories left. Oh, did we miss the tally? I think we missed the tally. Yes, we did. Where is his back here? He's doing another teleport. Actually, he's going somewhere else. Where is the next step? We're going to have to try and keep an eye for that blue person popping up. He's decided there's something to go for. Where is that something? Dark blue. Watch for the dark blue com. I think we see it if we do this. We cannot. Couldn't see it off the top of my head. It's up there. Do this. Where's he going? I thought he was teleporting, but I don't see the order. Maybe he cancelled it. He cancelled it. He's no longer got the red dot on his back. Okay, so we're fine. Push in the middle though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fat Boy still very much up and alive. We now have the T1 bomber spam and a couple of Rambo bombs in the back of that chicken, but it is going to get a huge amount of damage done. It just walked right into the middle of that base, and while there might be some PD, while there might be some Rambo bombs, even if it dies right now, its death now will cause so much damage. All the T3 power gone. We have the quantum gateway destroyed. We have a T3 HQ here that's getting focused on down. Peter PJ dies. Horrible death. The T3 HQ is still alive. Question is, how is that ball of lightning going to go? Well, it's going to go, and it's going to start murdering everything around it. Maybe we'll just move these Rambo comms away. If it comes to the left a little bit, I think it might be just in range to catch the HQ. At least it's going to kill off the mass extractors, which it is. Maybe the HQ is going to survive. They can pop out some engineers and rebuild that. Okay. Bob's your uncle. Back on this section, these fat boys are doing as fat boys do, and comes a rush from Hannibal. He decides he doesn't like the fat boys, wants to get rid of them. 5 fat boys though are going to pound a lot of damage into the ground, and anything near those guys is going to get shredded. Anything coming into range is going to get shredded. We have some defending pieces out front from Caillou. They're going to help keep these guys at bay, and the fat boys are just going to wreck. We have another chicken walking down here though. 2 chickens walking down the right hand side. Jagged Appliances spotted the nice big open gap. Well, he knows about the nice big open gap because he just sent one chicken down all the way to here, and that's not going to have a good time. There's a deli. So No Rest decided he's just going to go around the edges and start mowing down little individual places. Undefended points, which is not a terrible idea. What is this? We have T3 artillery and a nuke. Where did the nuke come from? There we go. So a nuke out from Hannibal. There's T3 arty from, there it is, all the way back here from No Red View. The nuke is coming down this way. Oh, is it going for the fat boys? That'd be a massive catch if we can get the fat boys. It is going this way. Are the fat boys going to take a nuke right down the pipe? is curving. The Fat Boys were already on the move. I don't know if they're... Well, it looks like I can get at least 3 of them. 1, 2, 3 Fat Boys. All those factories down and supports down to 2 Fat Boys. Although there are a couple of GCs in defense that are going to come over this way and encourage those chickens to go in a different direction. 3rd GC down there. It should be a win. Right hand side. Back on the left we see, there we go, Fat Boy under fire from the Fat Boy all the way back here, and the Percival's in front. This guy needs to run very, very fast. These Percivals need to come over and clear these out to keep the Fat Boy alive. Looks like they're going to do exactly that, and this Fat Boy should survive at that rate. Just needs to go a little bit further to get out of range of this one, and she'll be right. In the middle, lots of T1 bombers out there from Citrus. He does have air still, but I don't have much of an air grid thanks to that T3 artillery can't boom. Look at that shell land. Knocks out all the very highly volatile T2 mass fabs, and they explode and take the mass extractor along with it. Not having a good time. Has his own T3 arty though, and is most likely shooting back in that direction. Is it shooting back in that direction? It's shooting back something. It is shooting back, and it's going for the Novaks. Maybe just the extra eco over there. Left hand side is still a big old fight here. We have a big old bank of T2 artillery here, so no Fat Boy is going to get close, because otherwise that happens. On this side we see, well, this Fat Boy has been distracted by the Percivals, whilst this Fat Boy is, well, being distracted by the T3. Need to drop the units back or move them forward. Now the shields are down, and this Fat Boy down here is going to get some work done against all of those. Very, very useful, especially killing off the sniper bots. Over on the right hand side we see it has been, what's the GC doing? No turn, keep facing. Dodges that ball actually, and if it can kill off one chicken, that'd be good, because that will stall the attack to 20,000 health against 20,000. This should go the way of the chicken, especially with the support coming in, but this is going to pop and start murdering all sorts of things. Another nuke out. This time it is actually from Sam's. So he's popping a nuke, and oh, that would be a good spot if it wasn't for the fact that Exeter has reacted and trying to move the units away. That nuke is going to land. Oh no. Where's the chicken going? Going to go around in circles. That nuke is going to land. Will it take out the chicken? This question. Will it take out Exeter? This comm's right there. I think he should be far enough away. Yes, he is. But the chicken and the Fat Boy are both dead. That is a big hit from that nuke, just even as the nuke from below. Almost as good as that nuke, because that one took out like 3 experimentals. They took out 2. But the whole army's gone. There's nothing to stop these guys moving up. I hear the Awassa. Where's it gone? I heard the Awassa. Is that the bomb? And oh, it's an Awassa from Jagged Appliance. It has dropped its payload right here. Killed off something? Maybe? Uncertain. Where the Fat Boys gone? I think the Fat Boys are dead. Well, there's still one Fat Boy down here trying to be defensive, and it is doing what it can against a bunch of marauding Othams. They're getting close, and they are doing the damage. Fortunately, you can't... Oh, is that another telly? That's another telly. No red fuse pops down here, kills off of something, and then pops out again. And actually, he's popped up here, starting the stealth gen, so wanting to not be hounded by grounding. The stealth generator is up, and I think there's a bunch of tech launchers. Yes, indeed, it is. That boy down here is not long for this world. It is down to half health. The shield is gone. The Othams are right in its face, although now it's targeting the Othams directly, but in comes some Nothers, and that's going to be the nail in the proverbial coffin for that guy. It is donezo. Still got a chicken wandering around over here. It is down with the red. Not looking so good. Air is definitely under control from Citrus at the moment. Caillou pushing up the middle here. And this is great work. He's going to be able to kill off all this production, massive production lines here. Nothing to stop all of that. A Fat Boy trying to come over and do things. We see Sam's is in the air now, so instead of building more Sam's, he's built some ACFs of his own. Because hey, why not? And he has been pushing up into here with those units after making that big old gap. And is just trying to kill off as much eco as he can. Percival's moving up. They're trying to knock out the T2 artillery, because that is doing devastating damage to Fat Boys at distance. And he doesn't want to keep that going. Right. How's the T3 artillery done? Well, Citrus T3 arty has decided, never mind that, I am going to kill the air grid. And the air grid belonging to No Red, who has left the game. His commander... Okay, I wonder if he dropped. Maybe he dropped. but well on the back foot right at the moment. Some down here, those chickens are just waltzing on through. The army coming down there from Hannibal, and did I miss the para? How did I miss the para? It is so close to getting done, and there's so much build power here. As soon as that is, that's going to happen. As soon as that para is finished, all of these units are going to just immediately start spamming out GCs. He's going to have unlimited resources and so much build power. Once that goes up, it's going to be good, but he does have a satellite overhead. He does have an encroaching army at this stage. It is Citrus trying to defend as much as possible with what he's got, but those are going to get absolutely stormed by the anti-air. We've got some T3 lightning. Yeah, lightning tanks wreck T2 gunship, but the Paragon is done. And now they need to change and focus all of that build power onto one GC just to get it out and do some features. But the tack's so jagged was well aware of the tack launches over here, and he is sending those down. Oh dear, this could be maybe not the shortest lived para ever, but certainly not lasting for very long. Oh dear, oh dear. They have one more salvo. They have more missiles. Not as of yet, but they've taken out a bunch of shields. This one pops back on, so the para will be safe enough for now, but still with a lot of units coming on, and need to get these GCs up so they can start defending from there. T1 PD doing its thing as well, but in comes all of that. In comes double Awassa. Never mind the attack missiles. Well, the attack missiles are turning up as well, but the double Awassa does it anyway. The para goes kaboom. Massive explosion. Down go both of the Awassas, whether that was from the air or whether that was from the explosion, don't know, but Beta was standing right there as well. I'd like to think that the attack missiles may have softened the shields a little bit, but either way, that is a big complete boom, and that is a giant hole where there used to be a big wad of eco, a lot of build power. There's one GC left here, very damaged, very hurt, and now this marauding army. There's very, very little to stop them. T3R over here still doing its thing. Ayu's commander is right here. What's he doing? Well, he's got the Billy Nuke. He's got the Billy Nuke on his back. So, not a bad shout. You can actually do some decent damage to these rampaging armies. A couple of fat boys here going to try and do their thing. Caillou needs to just keep walking. As soon as he gets his Billy Nuke, he should just lob it up at whatever's closest. Nuke comes out. That's a fairly decent position. If these guys keep walking, I'm going to guess that is from, yep, our different Sam's. He's doing this thing. And if these keep on walking, they are going to be in a bad time. But so is the Fat Boy. The Fat Boy, why are you walking forward, Fat Boy? You need to be walking. Why are you rolling forward, Fat Boy? Your advantage is at range. As soon as you get close to all of these, you're a dead man. And here comes the nuke. The nuke is going to smack down on all of these Percivals, but the Fat Boy's going to get caught in the two. Splat! Massive chunk of that Percy army. Very good nuke. Very good defensive nuke, and it needed to be. We have had one dead chicken over here, going to start zorching all these ground units. We have this Fat Boy is going to have a go at this, a sheep thief is the name of this particular chicken, and this chicken is going to catch the Fat Boy, change its direction, and it's going to have a bad time. Where's the other nuke? Well, there it is. It's coming out from Hannibal, who has had a lot of damage done to his base. And where's that going for? Is it going for this massive army here? Yes, but there's an SMD. There's an SMD. Now I have satellites over here to over here. We have the artillery still doing what they want. Another Awassa overhead takes particular offense to that one T3 engine there. And says no. Excuse the snibbles. Another chicken walking up here, and I think that Paragon dying might have been just about the interest. Still launching those tech missiles, eh? Sorry, it was just amusing, but down goes, what was that? I think that was Caillou. That was Caillou facing up with the Percival army. He was never getting out of that. He does a decidedly smashing death. And still the Percivals roll on, and still the chicken walks on, and there was some T1 BD, which might have helped stop the tide a little bit, except for the fact it's a chicken, which just destroyed them en masse. Chicken doing a bit of ground fire there, I think. Now it starts walking again. Well, this is it. Pinged in from the, just absolutely carved through the bottom here. Sam's has held his own up here pretty darn well. He's had to be contending with both Exited and Hannibalo on the sides. Those units come down making annoyances of themselves, and he has done the best job he could, but unfortunately, while he's held there, they have not held the rest of all this, and it is absolutely over. Still getting my Wasp making it all down here, dropping his bombs, and I'm going to ignore that DC because it's basically over, and I'm pretty sure the guys decided to surrender at that point. Good, more Sam's control K's out, and so does Citrus. My word. Absolute mayhem. Could have gone slightly different a number of times, but in the end, that chicken getting down here unopposed and swarming through here, or swanning its way through here and just killing off all that stuff, really put a massive dent and just made life difficult. The Paragon, oh dear, the Paragon. It was built, it was up, and that would have been a big old game changer if it wasn't for some tech missiles softening the shields and a pair of Wasps coming on in, and that was just the end of that. Double the Wasp damage, and Paragon gone, exploding out. So much eco to put into that. It needed to be built back here, I reckon. Somewhere a bit further from the back. It was probably start built though while there's a big base there, so I felt it was far enough back, but my word. So many experimentals. We had T3 artillery overhead, no experimental artillery, so we didn't see a Scathis or a Mave or anything like that. Had a couple of satellites overhead. You know, a few successful nukings as well. This launcher over here has got itself 91 kills. This launcher down here, where it goes, got itself 155, so plenty of action going on, but great game all around. Well, that's it for me today, folks. Hope you enjoyed that one as much as I did. Very interesting, lots of action going on all over the place. Have yourselves a wonderful day, morning, evening, night, whatever time zone you might be in. See you all, stay safe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Farewell.